So, in this segment, we're going to be discussing Emily Thornberry saying that the Labour Party should be proud of its foreign policy rather than kind of hiding away from it. And we're going to do kind of a little bit of part two on this video, talking about Ed Miliband and his kind of vote against action in Syria and why I think he was right. So, let's tackle this one first and we'll do the other one in a different video.
I think the team around Starmer is too narrow. Bit of a boys' club, it's been argued.
I don't know.
How do you not know? You're like, your party's in government. Like, do you not try and speak to him? Like, how do you not know?
No. I mean, I do think that, as I say, that there are times when we could communicate what we're doing better. Sometimes we almost seem to be sort of embarrassed about what we're doing instead of proud of it.
I would, based on the last year of Starmer's rhetoric when it came to specifically Israel versus Palestine, right? I would be embarrassed, given that your boy over there was backing breaking international law at the time, trying to defend, blocking of food, water, and electricity.
I'm really proud of the fact that we will uphold international law. That if there's an arrest warrant, we will implement it. Why?
I mean, that's basic. That's basic. Like, that's social norms. You're expected to do that. That's like saying I'm proud to not spit in the face of other people. Like, genuinely, like that's brain dead. That is a brain dead take.
Do we need to pull our punches on that? It's fine. I'm proud.
And Netanyahu, you're referring to.
Yeah, I'm proud of the fact that we've got, that we've got sanctions on settlements. Why? Or
shouldn't you have sanctions on the people building the settlements and the companies involved in it and the leader who is pushing these settlements?
Or I'm proud of the fact that we're not going to be selling arms to Israel for the use in Gaza.
Do you think that's how you take on Farage? Is by being direct, by being that sort of style?
I think there's a lot can be achieved by simply saying what you mean and meaning what you say and being confident about it and looking the world in the eye and going, yeah, this is me. This is my politics. You may not agree with everything, but you will agree with most of it.
So let's have a look back at what she had to say at the time.
But I mean, I don't know.
They've already cut off the food.
I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is
that against international law. It's really simple. Sir Keir Starmer doesn't seem to think it is.
What is simple is that whatever actions are taken by a democracy, it has to be done in accordance with international law. And we have heard tonight from the President of the United States that he has been on the phone to Netanyahu, and both of them have agreed that democracies need to act in accordance with international law.
Pause there, if I may. Do you think cutting off food, water and electricity is within international law?
I think that Israel has an absolute right to defend itself against terrorism.
That's not the question I asked.
It is an answer to the question that you've asked, and I think it's an appropriate one at this time.
So if I was good, I would have brought this up and I would have asked about it, especially when the ICC, have issued arrest warrants based on the fact that Israel have cut off things like food and water. So, maybe you should think about that.
Why won't you answer whether you think it's in line with international law or not?
Because I've tried to answer, and I've tried to say that we've already heard from your previous guest about what might be happening on a day-to-day basis. So we're now on day 4. And so we hear that there are troops massing on the border. There may well be an incursion. Immediately before an incursion, then, as the permanent representative have said, that it might be appropriate in those circumstances for there to be the sort of action that we've heard about. And then the invasion afterwards. I don't know, because at the moment we're in the middle of a hot war, and Israel is in the middle of defending itself. And
So how do you defend yourself? By essentially cutting off food, water and electricity from the other side? How does that help you in self-defense, apart from creating a desperate population? Like, this is absolutely pathetic, and I thought it was at the time, and I said it was at the time. And so this idea that Labour should be proud of their foreign policy, like, they should be doing a lot more in many areas, to deal with oligarchs and things like that from many different countries. The fact that they won't, stop Elon potentially donating 100 million to Reform UK, it's embarrassing. That's foreign interference. The fact that they sent over a load of goons from the UK to go to America to kind of help out with the DNC. I would not. That's something I would not have endorsed, especially given how washed the team is, anyways. It's just, this is silly. Like, being proud of what? Like, the bare basics, the bare minimum. Like, this Labour government will run on doing the exact basics, like fixing potholes. Like, you're going to take a bloody victory like over doing the basics of government. Like, people won't care. People will not take you seriously if you do that. If you genuinely make tangible differences, like big differences to people's lives, that's great. People won't know, people won't care if the potholes are filled that much because you won't notice it. You only notice things like potholes when they're there. You don't notice when they're filled. You're not gonna be like, oh my god, yes, this pothole's filled. You might for a couple of days, but that's about it. Like, it's just silly. This kind of rhetoric of we're going to take victory laps over the most minor things. The population. I don't think the public are that stupid. They fall for a lot of dumb things, but I don't think taking victory laps over the bare minimum is going to cut it. Do Labour have a foreign policy to be proud of? Absolutely not. Not in my opinion. In some areas they are better than the Conservatives, yes. The fact that they haven't put a ban on F-35 part exports to Israel is an abomination. I've seen people try and defend it by saying like, oh yeah, the global, it will impact the global availability of the parts. It's like, no, you just put an export ban on those parts to Israel. It's not hard. Like, other countries have export bans. Like the fact that there was an export ban to Ukraine for the Leopard 2 tanks until that was effectively lifted by Germany because Poland forced their hand. You can do things like that. So I don't know, man. I don't think they have a foreign policy to be proud of. I'll be honest. I think when it comes to this specific issue, Ireland have a foreign policy to be proud of. Spain and Norway, those three have things to be proud of. The Labour Party, not so much. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.